Okay, I want to do an example of solving a quadratic using the quadratic formula. And we've already done an example where we had this problem, x squared minus x minus 6. And we were just factoring it before. And it turns out factoring is faster than the quadratic formula on this. But the quadratic formula lets you actually get some potential values for it if we set the equation equal to 0. Okay? And so it actually is where a parabola would cross at the 2 points right here and right here is where the quadratic formula is going to give you the solution. Now you can get it factoring as well, and that's what we usually try factoring to make it easier, but I wanted to show you one that wasn't hard to do with the quadratic formula. Okay, so the quadratic formula is this. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, and that whole top is all over 2 times a. Okay, so negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, and everything is all over 2a, and you're going, where did the a, b, and c come from? And if you remember how we did the factoring, we looked at the coefficients. There's a coefficient here of 1, there's a coefficient here of 1, and then this constant has a value in there. So we know that a equals 1, b equals negative 1, because there's a negative on there. There's 1. And then the c is negative 6. And so you just plug everything into the formula. And so when I do that, I'm going to get, and I recommend you put parentheses on everything and then dump the numbers in. So I'm going to go negative b, but I'm going to kill the b, put the parentheses or the tombstones in for the dead variable. Then I'm going to kill the b again, and I'm going to square it, minus 4 parentheses, that's the a, and that's the c there, all over 2 times a. And so now I just have to put the numbers in. So I'm going to put them in blue so you can see them go in. So this is negative 1, and you see that if I didn't put the parentheses there, you might forget this negative sign right here and only just write negative 1. And the same thing here, if you don't put parentheses and you do negative 1 squared on your calculator, you'll get negative 1. But really what you want is like this, which is positive 1. So be careful on those. And then we got 4 times a, which is 1, and c, which is negative 6, and then 2 times a, which is 1. So this should be pretty easy to solve now. We get 1 in the front, plus or minus the square root of 1, and a negative times a negative is a positive, and 4 times 1 times 6 is 20. 4 all over 2. And so that's going to be 1 plus or minus the square root of 25 over 2, which is 1 minus 5 divided by 2, or, so that's the minus part on the bottom here. That's the minus part right here, is right here. And then I'm going to do the plus part right here next. 1 plus 5 over 2. So all these are to get the value of x, and you'll get negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2, or you'll get 6 divided by 2, which is 3. Okay, so we get that answer, and we now know those are two possible solutions. Then you'd have to check those into the geometry problem to see that they make sense. Sometimes they don't make sense. Okay, I'll do another one on the next screen here.